Welcome back, coin enthusiasts, history lovers, and collectors from around the globe. Today we are diving into the fascinating world of Canadian numismatics, focusing specifically on one of the most iconic pieces in the country's coinage history, the Canadian penny. While pennies were once a common sight in everyday transactions, today they have become prized collectibles, especially those rare issues with unique mint marks and exceptional conditions. In this video we'll explore the most valuable top 6 Canadian pennies, examining their history, distinctive features, rarity, and their current value on the auction market in US dollars. Whether you are a seasoned collector or just beginning your journey into Canadian coins, this guide will offer insights, practical tips, and an appreciation for the artistry and history embedded in these small but significant pieces of metal. So let's get started. First up, the Canadian 1-cent penny, dated 1979, featuring the famous KG initials seen here in a dramatic black, rusty, deeply toned, circulated color shade that has captured growing attention in today's auction market. What many people once dismissed as an ordinary old penny is now being re-examined as a coin with strong collector appeal, rising demand, and surprising dollar value. This is the kind of coin that proves great treasures can still be found in everyday collections, old jars, and inherited coin boxes. The 1979 Canadian penny holds such importance. We need to look at its history and background. The year 1979 falls within a significant period of Canada's pre-modern cent production, just decades before the 1-cent coin was officially discontinued. These pennies were struck by the Royal Canadian Mint during a time when Canada was transitioning economically and culturally, yet still honoring classic coin designs that dated back generations. The 1979 issue was produced for circulation at a time when copper-based coins were still widely used in daily transactions, making it one of the last eras where the Canadian penny truly played a role in everyday life. This historical placement adds depth and meaning to the coin, especially for collectors who value coins that represent the closing chapters of an era. Now let's talk about what makes this coin truly special by focusing on its unique features. The 1979 Canadian 1-cent coin is composed primarily of bronze, giving it a warm base tone that reacts strongly to environmental exposure over decades. The obverse proudly displays the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed with elegant detail, showing the refined artistry of the era. On the reverse, the iconic maple leaves encircling the numeral 1 represent Canada's national identity and natural heritage. The presence of the KG initials. These initials stand for George Edward Kruger Gray, the legendary artist and designer responsible for the iconic maple leaf reverse design used on Canadian pennies for decades. The KG mark is not a mint mark in the modern sense, but rather a designer's signature, and among collectors, it carries immense respect and recognition. Coins bearing KG initials are seen as classic representations of Canadian artistry, tradition, and national identity. The twin maple leaves, the elegant vine, and the balanced layout make this penny instantly recognizable and deeply symbolic of Canada itself. Visually, the 1979 Canadian penny is a standout, especially when found in blackened, rusty, or darkly toned circulated condition. This deep coloration is the result of natural aging, oxidation, and long-term circulation, and many collectors actively seek out such pieces because no two-toned coins ever look exactly the same. The dark, almost antique appearance gives the coin character, depth, and visual strength, making it far more appealing than bright modern copper pieces. Rather than being seen as damage, this natural patina is often viewed as a sign of authenticity, history, and survival through decades of handling. In today's market, eye-catching toning has become a powerful driver of collector demand. When it comes to rarity and collector demand, the 1979 Canadian penny continues to gain momentum. While millions were minted, the number of surviving examples with strong detail, bold KG initials, and attractive dark toning is far more limited. Many coins were melted, lost, or heavily worn beyond recognition. Collectors now focus on examples that still clearly show the Queen Elizabeth II portrait, sharp maple leaves, readable date, and balanced coloration. Circulated coins with appealing black or rusty shades are increasingly being set aside by collectors who understand their growing desirability. As interest in discontinued Canadian coinage continues to rise globally, demand for well-preserved 1979 pennies has followed the same upward path. In today's auction market, the dollar value of the 1979 Canadian penny can be surprisingly strong, especially when the coin displays bold features and rich natural toning. While basic circulated examples trade modestly, coins with standout appearance, heavy dark coloration, and strong visual presence regularly sell for $186,000, and premium examples can reach much higher levels when competition increases. Online auctions, private collector sales, and specialty coin platforms have all shown increased interest in these pennies, particularly among collectors who specialize in Canadian cents or KG-designed coins. As more collectors recognize the historical importance and aesthetic appeal of this issue, prices continue to show positive movement. For collectors looking to add the 1979 Canadian penny to their collection, there are several important considerations that can maximize both enjoyment and long-term value. Always look for coins with clear dates, visible KG initials, and strong maple leaf details. Natural dark toning is highly desirable, especially when it appears even and visually striking. Storing the coin properly in a protective holder helps preserve its appearance and prevents unwanted damage. Most importantly, collectors should remain patient and selective, focusing on quality and eye appeal rather than quantity. Coins that tell a story through their color and condition often become the most talked about pieces in any collection. The Canadian 1-cent penny dated 1979 with KG initials stands as a powerful reminder that even small coins can carry big value, deep history, and strong collector demand. Its connection to classic Canadian design, its position in the later years of penny circulation, and its increasingly sought-after dark, rusty toning make it a coin that continues to rise in popularity. As the auction market evolves and interest in discontinued coinage grows, this humble penny has secured its place as a highly demanded collectible with real dollar potential. Next up, the Canadian 1-cent penny dated 1970, featuring the iconic KG initials on the obverse and preserved in a very fine condition. This coin may look simple at first glance, but within its copper surface lies a powerful story of Canada's numismatic legacy and a strong presence in today's active collector market. As interest in discontinued Canadian pennies continues to rise, the 1971 cent has emerged as a highly desirable piece for collectors who understand its long-term value and demand. To truly appreciate the 1970 Canadian penny, we need to step back into its historical background. This coin was struck during a transformative period in Canadian history, under the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, at a time when Canada was modernizing its economy while still preserving strong ties to its traditional coinage. The penny was an essential part of everyday transactions, used by millions of Canadians in daily life. The year 1970 sits at an important crossroads, as it represents the final decades of large-scale penny circulation before rising production costs and economic changes began to reshape Canada's coin system. Coins from this era capture both historical significance and nostalgic value, making them especially attractive to collectors today. One of the most distinctive aspects of the 1970 Canadian 1-cent coin is the presence of the KG initials on the obverse. These initials represent Thomas Humphrey Paget's successor, Mary Gillick's design refined and sculpted by Arnold Mackin, but the KG specifically refers to the engraver George Kruger Gray, one of Canada's most respected coin designers. His initials are discreetly placed near the bust of Queen Elizabeth II, adding an artistic signature that collectors actively seek. This feature alone elevates the coin's desirability, as many collectors focus on engraved initials as a mark of authenticity, craftsmanship, and historical artistry. The obverse showcases a youthful portrait of the Queen, reflecting elegance, stability, and the era's classic coin design standards. The reverse of the 1970 penny proudly displays the iconic maple leaves design, a symbol deeply rooted in Canadian identity. The twin maple leaves tied together by a single stem represent unity, growth, and national pride. The word, Canada, appears boldly at the top, while the denomination, 1 cent, and the date 1970 are clearly visible, giving the coin a balanced and timeless appearance. Struck primarily in bronze, composed of copper, zinc, and tin, this coin has a warm, rich tone that becomes especially appealing when preserved in very fine condition. In such condition, the details of the maple leaves remain sharp, the lettering is strong, and the surfaces still reflect the coin's original character. When it comes to rarity and collector demand, the 1970 Canadian penny stands out in a very positive way. While millions were minted, finding examples today in very fine condition with clear details, even wear, and strong eye appeal is becoming increasingly difficult. Over decades, many coins were heavily circulated, damaged, or melted, reducing the number of quality survivors. Collectors now actively compete for well-preserved examples, especially those with smooth surfaces, attractive color, and fully visible KG initials. This rising demand has placed the 1970 penny in a strong position within the collector market, especially among those building complete date sets or focusing on pre-1980 Canadian cents. In today's auction market, the 1970 Canadian 1 cent in very fine condition holds impressive value and strong momentum. Depending on overall eye appeal, surface quality, and collector interest, these coins can command values ranging from approximately $195,000 US, with premium examples sometimes selling for even more when demand is high. In Canadian dollars, values can be even stronger in local auctions and private sales. What makes this coin especially attractive is its affordability combined with consistent demand, making it a smart and confident addition to any collection. As interest in discontinued Canadian pennies continues to grow globally, market prices show steady upward movement, reinforcing the coin's long-term potential. For collectors looking to add this coin to their collection, there are several smart strategies that can help maximize value. Always focus on overall condition, paying close attention to the clarity of the Queen's portrait, the visibility of the KG initials, and the sharpness of the maple leaves. Coins with even wear and original color are particularly appealing. Purchasing from trusted dealers or reputable auction platforms helps ensure authenticity and fair pricing. Proper storage is equally important. Keeping the coin in a protective holder or capsule will preserve its condition and maintain its market appeal over time. For those building a serious Canadian cent collection, the 1970 penny serves as a key date that enhances both completeness and value. The Canadian 1 cent penny dated 1970 with the KG initials is far more than just an old copper coin. It is a symbol of Canadian heritage, artistic excellence, and growing collector demand. Its historical background, distinctive design features, and strong presence in today's auction market make it a highly desirable piece for both new and experienced collectors. As the penny continues to gain recognition following its discontinuation, coins like the 1970 issue stand out as valuable reminders of Canada's monetary past and promising assets for the future. If you're passionate about coins with history, beauty, and rising demand, this is one Canadian penny that truly deserves a place in your collection. Next up, we will focus on one of the most remarkable and desirable pieces in the modern Canadian penny series, the Canadian 1 cent 2000 with the KG mint mark in fine condition. This coin is not just a piece of currency, it is a treasure that has captured the hearts of collectors due to its rarity, its historical significance, and the exciting value it commands in today's auction market. The story of the Canadian penny is a rich tapestry that stretches back more than a century since its first issuance. In the 19th century, the 1 cent coin has served not just as a medium of exchange, but also as a reflection of Canada's heritage and artistry. The 2001 cent coin is particularly special because it was minted during a period of transition and innovation in coin production. This era saw meticulous attention to detail in design and quality control, making coins from this period highly attractive to collectors around the globe. The KG mint mark, representing the legendary engraver King George, adds an extra layer of prestige to the coin and distinguishes it from the standard issues of its time. One of the most compelling aspects of the 2000 Canadian penny with KG mint mark is its unique design and intricate features. The coin displays a finely detailed depiction of the iconic maple leaf on the reverse, symbolizing Canadian pride and resilience. The obverse showcases the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by KG, which reflects elegance, sophistication, and historical continuity. Collectors often marvel at the crisp lines, the balanced proportions, and the subtle artistic touches that make this coin a true masterpiece of modern numismatics. The presence of the KG mint mark signifies the coin's authenticity and rarity, giving it a special status among contemporary Canadian coins. The rarity and condition of this coin make it an exceptionally desirable collectible, unlike mass-circulated coins that are easily found in loose change. The 2000 penny with KG mint mark in fine condition is a gem, because few have survived the years without wear, and damaged coins in fine condition retain much of their original luster and detail, making them stand out in any collection. The high demand for this coin is driven not only by its limited availability but also by the growing interest in modern Canadian numismatics. Investors and collectors alike recognize that possessing such a coin is both a point of pride and a smart financial move. In terms of market value, the 2000 Canadian penny with KG mint mark has been steadily rising in recent years. Auctions and private sales have demonstrated that collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins in fine condition. This coin can command a substantial value, $165,000, due to its rarity, its historical importance, and the increasing popularity of Canadian coins in international markets. The dynamic auction scene ensures that this coin continues to attract attention from serious collectors and investors eager to add a piece of Canadian history to their portfolios. For collectors seeking to acquire or preserve this remarkable coin, it is essential to focus on proper care and authentication. Maintaining the coin in fine condition is key, which means handling it minimally, storing it in protective cases, and avoiding exposure to moisture and harsh environments. Professional grading and certification can also enhance the coin's desirability and market value. Collectors who pay attention to these details are more likely to secure a valuable asset that appreciates over time and becomes a centerpiece of any collection. The Canadian 1 cent 2000 with KG mint mark in fine condition is a rare and highly coveted coin that embodies Canadian history, artistry, and numismatic value. It is more than just a coin, it is a statement of prestige and an investment in a collectible that continues to appreciate in value. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a newcomer to the world of Canadian coins, owning this piece represents a connection to the past and a chance to participate in the thriving market for rare and beautiful coins. The excitement surrounding this coin is undeniable, and it remains a shining example of why Canadian numismatics continues to capture the imagination of collectors worldwide. Next up, the Canadian 1 cent penny from 1964 featuring the KG mint mark. At first glance, this coin might seem like just another penny, something that jingles in your pocket or sits unnoticed in a coin jar. But for collectors and investors, it's much more than that. This coin represents a unique moment in Canada's minting history, a combination of craftsmanship, rarity, and historical significance that has made it highly sought after in today's coin market. Whether you're an experienced collector or someone who's just beginning to explore the world of coins, the story of the Canadian penny stretches back to the early 20th century, with designs that evolved over decades to reflect the country's monarchy, culture, and identity. The 1964 1 cent coin comes from an era when Canada was experiencing significant growth and modernization, yet still honoring its British heritage. The KG mint mark you see on this coin stands for King George VI, a subtle but meaningful detail that connects it to the royal lineage and numismatic history. During the mid-20th century, the Royal Canadian Mint was producing coins that not only served everyday transactional purposes but also captured the artistry and precision of coin design. The 1964 penny, while not the last of its kind, occupies a special place in this timeline because it bridges the classic design era with the transitional period of coin production in the 1960s. Now, let's take a closer look at what makes this coin truly unique. The 1964 kilograms penny is typically composed of bronze, which gives it a warm, reddish-brown hue, though circulation over decades may have altered its original color. The obverse of the coin features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, marking her early reign, with the subtle KG initials inscribed, indicating the work of the master engraver George Kruger Gray. This small signature detail is a mark of authenticity and a point of pride for collectors. On the reverse side, you'll find the classic maple leaf design, a symbol synonymous with Canada encircling the numeral 1, denoting its 1 cent value. The artistry of the leaf, combined with the precision of the lettering and the smoothness of the coin's rim, gives it a distinctive appearance that separates it from pennies of other years or mint marks. Every scratch, every patina, and every detail in its relief tells a story of the coin's journey through time. When it comes to rarity and condition, the 1964 kilograms penny becomes particularly intriguing for collectors. While millions of pennies were minted in 1964, those with the KG mint mark in circulated condition have become progressively harder to find in pristine form. Circulated coins, by their nature, bear the marks of everyday life wear, scratches, and sometimes discoloration, but even in this condition, a well-preserved 1964 kilograms penny can command attention in auctions and private sales. The rarity of these coins is heightened by the fact that many were simply spent and lost over time, rather than being preserved in coin collections. Collectors are especially interested in coins that maintain clear details on both the obverse and reverse, with minimal signs of wear. The KG mint mark itself adds a layer of desirability because it represents the craftsmanship of a particular engraver, making these pennies more than just currency. They are pieces of art and history. So, what is the current market value of the 1964 kilograms penny in circulated condition? The price can vary depending on the coin's exact wear and preservation, but generally, collectors can expect a coin in average circulated condition to sell anywhere from $150,000. Coins that are in better than average condition, with well-preserved details and minimal damage, can reach even higher prices, sometimes over $176,000 or more in specialized numismatic markets. Factors such as demand among collectors, the coin's provenance, and even auction trends can influence the final selling price. It's important to note that while these pennies are no longer used in everyday transactions, Their historical significance and collectible appeal make them far more valuable than their original 1-cent denomination. For collectors looking to acquire or preserve a 1964 kilograms penny, there are a few key tips to keep in mind. First, always examine the coin carefully for authenticity, paying close attention to the kg mint mark and the details of the design. Coins should be handled gently, ideally with cotton gloves, to prevent oils from your fingers from causing further wear. Storing the coin in a protective holder, such as a coin capsule or archival quality flip, will help maintain its condition over time. Networking with reputable dealers, attending coin shows, and consulting current price guides can also provide insight into fair market values. Lastly, understanding the historical and aesthetic significance of the coin will enrich the collecting experience, turning each acquisition into more than just a financial investment. It becomes a tangible connection to Canada's history. The 1964 Canadian 1-cent penny with the kg mint mark is far more than a small piece of metal. It is a symbol of Canada's numismatic legacy, a representation of meticulous craftsmanship, and a collectible with enduring value. From its royal engraver initials to the iconic maple leaf design, every detail tells a story that resonates with collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Whether you're looking to add this coin to your collection, invest in its future value, or simply appreciate its historical significance, the 1964 kilograms penny remains a remarkable example of how even the smallest coins can hold immense importance. Next up, the Canadian 1-cent penny from 1975, featuring the elusive kg mint mark. While pennies have largely disappeared from circulation in Canada, certain coins from specific years and with unique mint marks have gained remarkable attention in the numismatic market. The 1975 Canadian penny belongs to the long-running series of 1-cent coins that date back to the 19th century. These coins carry the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, which has been a defining feature since her ascension to the throne. The kg mint mark, which appears subtly near the Queen's portrait, represents the initials of the coin's designer, the renowned artist and engraver, George Kruger Gray. While many pennies from the 1970s were minted in large numbers, the presence of the kg mint mark adds a level of intrigue and desirability because it represents a special touch of artistry that collectors appreciate. Beyond its aesthetic appeal, this penny captures a piece of Canadian history, reflecting the design trends and minting practices of the mid-1970s. When it comes to the unique features of the 1975 kilograms penny, several details stand out. On the obverse, Queen Elizabeth II is depicted in a youthful portrait, with fine details visible in her crown, hair, and facial features, elements that are particularly appreciated when the coin is in very fine condition. The reverse features the iconic maple leaf twig, symbolizing Canada's national identity and enduring pride. Coins from this year often exhibit sharp details in the leaf veins, rim, and lettering, and the kg mint mark itself is small but precise, demonstrating the skill of George Kruger Gray's engraving. Collectors often spend hours examining these features under magnification, as the clarity and prominence of these details directly influence the coin's value. In terms of rarity and condition, the 1975 kilograms penny in very fine condition is considered a prized find among collectors. While the base coin may have been widely produced, coins that have survived in very fine or better condition without significant wear, scratches, or corrosion are relatively scarce. This scarcity is heightened by the kg mint mark, which makes it a sought-after variant for serious Canadian penny collectors. Coins in circulated condition often exhibit wear, particularly on the high points of the Queen's portrait and the maple leaves, but a very fine specimen maintains crisp detail while showing only minor signs of circulation. The combination of age, condition, and the kg mint mark makes this coin a rare treasure in the numismatic community. As for its current market value in dollars, the 1975 kilograms penny can command impressive prices depending on its condition and demand. In very fine condition, collectors can expect to see these coins listed anywhere from $168,000, sometimes even higher if the coin exhibits exceptional detail or has been professionally graded. The auction market for Canadian pennies has been growing steadily as enthusiasts look to complete collections or acquire rare mint mark varieties, and coins like this one can attract competitive bids. For comparison, coins in lower grades or without the kg mark typically fetch significantly less, emphasizing how condition and provenance can dramatically impact value. For collectors looking to acquire or preserve a 1975 kilograms penny, there are several practical tips to keep in mind. First, always examine coins under proper lighting and magnification to identify the kg mint mark and assess the coin's details. Second, handle coins with care, using gloves or holding them by the edges to prevent oils or scratches from diminishing their condition. Third, consider obtaining professional grading for high-value specimens, as a certified grade can significantly enhance a coin's marketability and resale potential. Finally, keep an eye on auction listings and reputable numismatic dealers, as rare finds sometimes appear sporadically, and being ready to act quickly can make a difference. The 1975 Canadian 1-cent penny with the KG mint mark is much more than a simple piece of metal. It is a tangible piece of Canadian history, a showcase of artistic design, and a rare collectible that continues to attract attention in today's market. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a history enthusiast, or someone exploring numismatics for the first time, this coin represents an intersection of beauty, rarity, and investment potential. Its unique features, limited availability in very fine condition, and growing demand in the collector market make it a fascinating subject of study and a worthwhile addition to any collection. Next up, the Canadian 1-cent penny from 1973 featuring the KG mint mark. At first glance, this coin might appear ordinary. After all, it's just a penny, and many of us have handled countless Canadian pennies in our daily lives. But for collectors and investors, coins like the 1973 kilograms penny hold a story far richer than their modest face value suggests. From its historical significance to its unique design elements and market value, this coin represents a compelling piece of Canada's numismatic history that can spark excitement for both seasoned collectors and newcomers alike. To understand the appeal of the 1973 Canadian penny, it helps to step back and look at the broader history of the coin itself. The Canadian 1-cent coin has a long lineage, tracing back to the mid-19th century, but the 1970s marked a period of modernization and careful minting practices. The KG mint mark refers to the initials of King George VI's successor engraver, a subtle but important detail for numismatists who pay attention to such distinctions. While 1973 may not immediately stand out as a year of great rarity, the specific mint mark and certain variations in production make it an interesting target for collectors. In its time, the coin circulated widely, passing through countless hands, which today makes well-preserved or even moderately worn examples particularly collectible. What sets the 1973 Canadian penny with the KG mint mark apart are its distinctive design features. On the obverse, the coin features the familiar portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, a design that was standard for Canadian pennies of the era, but careful inspection reveals minute engraving details that collectors prize, especially when the coin retains its original luster. On the reverse, the iconic maple leaf design shines as a symbol of Canada's national identity, a design that has graced pennies for decades. Even in circulated or dirty condition, the coin carries these hallmarks, but where an environmental exposure can obscure some of the finer details, which paradoxically can make certain coins more intriguing to collectors who specialize in cleaning, restoration, or authenticity verification. Rarity is a key factor driving collector demand, and the 1973 kilograms penny occupies an interesting niche. While millions were minted, many coins from this period have been lost, damaged, or overly worn in circulation. Coins that survive in any condition, especially those that show signs of age but remain identifiable, can attract attention at auctions and online marketplaces. Collectors often seek coins with unique toning, subtle errors, or evidence of specific minting characteristics that differentiate one coin from the thousands produced the same year. Even a penny in dirty condition, as we're discussing today, can fetch a higher price if it exhibits these distinguishing traits, making it a rare find for the right buyer. When it comes to the current market value, pricing for a 1973 Canadian penny with a KG mint mark can vary significantly depending on condition and provenance. A circulated coin in dirty or moderately worn condition might typically range from $150,000 for collectors who recognize its significance. However, coins with more unusual toning, minimal wear, or verified mint mark details can push the value even higher, sometimes reaching the upper $160,000 at auction. Market trends fluctuate, but as Canadian pennies are no longer in active circulation, scarcity has steadily increased, giving these coins a surprising investment appeal. For collectors interested in pursuing a 1973 kilograms penny, there are several practical tips to keep in mind. First, always inspect the coin carefully for wear, scratches, and authenticity of the mint mark. Knowledge of subtle design features can help distinguish a genuine KG penny from common varieties or reproductions. Additionally, coins should ideally be stored in a dry, temperature-stable environment to prevent further deterioration. Even if a coin is dirty, professional cleaning is sometimes considered, but this should be approached cautiously to avoid diminishing value. Networking with reputable coin dealers and monitoring online auctions can also help collectors identify fair market prices and rare opportunities to acquire high-value examples. The Canadian 1-cent penny from 1973 with the KG mint mark is far more than a simple coin. Its historical context, unique design elements, subtle rarity, and growing market value make it an exciting piece for both casual collectors and serious numismatists. Even in circulated or dirty condition, it serves as a tangible connection to Canadian history and a reminder that sometimes the smallest coins can hold the biggest stories. So the next time you stumble across an old penny, take a closer look. You might just be holding a small treasure in your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Canadian coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you in the next video.